Hello, everyone. Thank you for your patience. I'm sure you've been enjoying watching that wonderful starting soon screen. But we are here now to start these two games tonight. We'll be following Haven in both those games. First up against Lethal Target Academy, who haven't been doing the best start at the moment. Unfortunately, played 2, lost 2. Let's see if we can win here. And then Haven playing Dishonored after this one. But next to me, we have a new guy on the block, of course. We have Jose Mourinho or Zidduck. You've got your two names. Zyduk. Oh, of course. Right, there you go. Yeah, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm
Yep.
doing good. Yeah, just
Hyped.
excited for
Yeah.
my intro in the Valanth League. It should be good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be up for some mad games. I mean, 2 comebacks last week, so see if this follows. But we'll go straight into the pick and ban phase here. So as we see Leona and Wukong taking on each side. Yeah, are there any kind of meta bans or picks, maybe more general ones you're looking out for?
Well, there's the flavor of the month, the Annie in the mid lane, who I'd personally be looking at. She is incredibly strong. She's making an appearance in all the professional scene. She's got a crazy high win rate, so I wouldn't mind seeing an Annie ban. She's quite easy to pilot, can fit into a good team. We see the Ashe there being banned to take away from some of this pushing bot power, which we're seeing, which is along the same lines as Zyra. Syndra, also another strong one in the mid lane there.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I think the Ashe is a bit of a target ban as well. I know Frosty has got almost a 60% win rate, I think, on that Ashe. So, yeah, it's interesting how Ashe is kind of moved to a more support role usually. I mean, still ADC maybe occasionally for the really die-hard Ashe fans, but yeah. We'll complete that first ban phase though with a Rise, who's always back and forth, isn't he? Really, in the meta.
Very strong right now with Roa Seraphs coming through.
Yeah,
it's been a very strong pick.
Yeah, well, that will be taken away and into the first picks for each team with the Seraphine as the priority there. Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is quite their support flavor. I know they enjoy their enchanters playing a lot of Lulu recently. So Calm will be picked up on the other side, which can bring some of that same shielding power that Seraphine can bring with a bit of more early lane pressure if it decides to get locked in. Obviously, also flex into the mid lane, which we see some people do. Karma mid very popular in solo queue and in professional play. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Karma Lulu is kind of the two similar champs. I mean, I usually tend towards the Lulu, really. I feel like Lulu's just a better Karma in some ways. You know, got the shields, the movement speed, and then also has the wild growth just to kind of top it off. So,
but Karma can sometimes come through that early lane pressure, which you can look toward the Samira as well, which they picked up. If you're trying to go for some early 2v2 kills, Karma can provide that along with the Samira there.
Yeah, this is true. As you mentioned, yeah, the Samira has been taken as well. Yeah, kind of nice close engage, I suppose. Bit of strong damage there, and replied with the Amumu as well. It's been nice to see more prevalent in the jungle as well with those 2 bandage tosses. So yeah, see where we go here. But those bot lane completed with the misfortune as well.
Should be. We can still see some flexes maybe coming through. We never know. But it does look like this is the bot lane complete. Misfortune, Seraphine, obviously good combo with the Misfortune E, providing the slow, which means for Seraphine can get the root on her first E.
Yeah, it's a nice combo, isn't it? Yeah, so you know, obviously root the member behind and then line up that Q for the Misfortune as well.
Yeah, the nice double tap, I believe it is. Oh, I always get confused.
You've got I think the double tap's the passive. The Q, yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head. Not a ADC main, my knowledge. I do try and expand my knowledge. I mean, test me on any ult, and I can pretty much do that. But the Q abilities, I think, is quite a refined knowledge. But we know some here and there. But in the end, yeah, we've completed now the first pick phase, with a Shen blind picked into that top lane. Quite a safe one, at least.
Yeah, safe. Can have a lot of map impact. Can be good.
Yeah, who would you? Yeah, I was just going to say the bans are coming in now with the mid laner being focused there and the Jarvan in the jungle there. Obviously not to terrorize the Mumu, but who would you kind of look to pick into to complement these champions picked in the first phase?
Well, on LTA's side, we see a lot of magic damage through. I wouldn't mind seeing something like a Yone to follow up on the in the mid lane for
Mm,
LTA, because they need some sort of strong AD damage, because Misfortune can do a bit of hybrid sometimes, and then you have Seraphine and Amumu, which are both dealing quite a lot of magic damage here. Ornn locked in, which is another one of those safe top laners, which can provide a lot of team fight pressure later on when they're going for this big team fight brawly comp with the Amumu and the Seraphine. They have a very strong team fight already. They're trying to limit some of the pressure, some of the scaling coming through from that top lane.
yeah, indeed. Yeah, you see, the Ornn is going to be taken away this game as well. No ornaments or Ornhorn, sadly. Always like
No.
a bit of action there, but yeah, in the end, the Graves as well. So jungler really focused there in the banning side for
Yeah,
Henhaven. So gone for the Kane in the
Kane
end. Yeah,
locked in. Yeah, I mean it provides some of the same drain tankiness that the Amumu provides, but it will clear a bit faster. Maybe the jungler can become more proactive on the map and impact some of these bot lanes, which has been so prevalent recently. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Kane's an interesting one because I think Red Kane is a lot stronger at the moment. I think I believe it's yeah, Blue Kane is just not really that popular at the moment. Not that
It's
common. It's just too weak, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. The assassin items, the like lethality as a whole generally seems quite weak right now, and Blue Cane just feels underwhelming. You don't have enough damage to kill after the durability patch. He's really fallen off. But that
Yep.
red cane, that healing, that sustain that comes through. There's the Yone that I was talking about picked up, which
Ah, yeah, nice. Nice to see the cast prediction coming through.
mhm.
Mystic
Yeah,
Ball coming
and
out.
uh Malphite, Malphite. Uh, is that just a hover? Oh, Malphite's
No,
locked in.
that is
Okay.
locked in. So does look like maybe a Shen or Malphite mid lane, of course. So
I would I
yeah,
would think it
Malphite
would be
mid
the
lane.
Malphite mid
Yeah,
into the Yone. Obviously, Malphite's very good into those AD champions. Uh, but what I'm seeing here is they could be lacking quite a bit of damage on Henhaven sides. You have the Samira coming through as your primary and only carry, pretty much.
yep.
The Kane can do stuff in the team fight as well, but it's just I would be quite scared if they don't get this lead. If they don't get ahead, then they might not snowball into that late game team fights like they want to. Whereas on LTA side, they have a good mix of damage. They have good team fight, good brawl. I think LTA are probably ahead coming into this draft.
I really, yeah. You prefer the LTA
Yeah,
combo, do you? Yeah.
I believe I do. They have good team fight. They have an obvious game plan, trying to scale up for that later game, and then get the Amumu ult, get the team fight. On top of this shielding and the insane scaling coming in from Seraphine, I feel very comfortable saying they have a better draft here. But we could always see this Samira get ahead, and I mean we've all dealt with that in solo queue when a Samira has
Yeah.
15, 20 kills. I mean I'm sure that won't happen here, but it can be devastating.
Yeah, it's one of those ADCs that, just a couple of kills here and there can really
Yeah,
snowball out of control. And of course, with that ultimate, it can be really devastating. So I do like the kind of engage potential from
yeah,
Henhaven. I'm not
mhm,
sure maybe the Karma, how that kind of fits in there. I mean, it's,
yeah,
more kind of poke oriented champion. But
mhm,
I mean, when you've got a Shen, Kane, Malphite, and Samira, I mean, goodness me,
yeah.
that's
I mean, there's a lot of go buttons for sure.
yeah. So yeah, good to see. We're gonna have a nice, tasty, action-heavy League of Legends game here, rather than maybe the Kassadins or the
Uh,
Vigars.
is
Waiting for
it?
30 minutes
Yeah.
just watching minions be killed and slaughtered.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
Yeah, but
so there we are, fully locked in both sides. So you're heavily favouring LTA then. That's
yeah.
what you're
But
feeling.
Samira is she's a very, very strong pick on this patch with the IE changes coming through and the Bloodthirster changes. It's a similar thing as Draven. She doesn't need the attack speed as much, so she can go towards this Bloodthirster and get an IE very early and be very strong on that 2 item spike. So she could have a lot of impact in this game. But I still believe that uh, everything coming through for LTA with the go buttons with the damage. I believe it's a very strong draft from them.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a case of landing your abilities, landing those really crucial ultimate abilities, and something like the Encore on the Seraphine combined with the bullet time on Misfortune can be just as devastating. The Kane's not going to survive that at all.
No.
So yeah, and the Mumu. I mean, yeah, it's kind of who pulls the trigger first, almost, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. And this is a very very safe Misfortune in a team fight with the Time Kench by her side, the Seraphine to keep her alive, the Amumu to peel. She'll be able to free hit during the team fight. So we'll
Yeah,
have to wait and see.
indeed. It's all lining up to be a very juicy game. But if
Yeah.
you fancy anyone there watching the stream giving your thoughts as well, pop in maybe hashtag LTA or hashtag hen or maybe hashtag let or hen. Who knows? But yeah, obviously favourites going into this will be Hen Haven. So
Yeah. With
yeah,
the
do you ever
big game.
find the kind of the mentality of that, the kind of the being maybe the favoured team beforehand gives that edge to the underdog, maybe that they're kind of half expecting maybe they're against it already.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be ready to get scrappy. They feel like they have nothing to lose almost. But the season is still got plenty of games to go. Well, I'd say plenty. But it's actually quite dire, isn't it? Still got. I'm not actually fully aware of the format.
Yeah, so
But
yeah, we've got a fair bit to go still. Only played a couple of games in, and there are 7 teams in this group, and then it goes on to the playoff stages as well after that. So yeah, we've got a fair bit of time to go, but now we are into Summoner's Rift, just sorting some technical issues as we have to, of course, stream and draft at the same time. But I'm going to pop that on and see if that is going to do that. Oh, there we go. And there we are. And we're good to go. Now I can focus on the action now and let the stream do its thing. But nothing too crazy to start off with.
there might be a small problem. I'm not loaded in yet.
Oh, right. Okay.
So far. Oh, here it is.
Yep, you're in. Great, okay. I've done my solo cast before and they're okay, but definitely prefer the duo.
I'm sure.
Yeah, just you didn't miss too much at least. That both teams just watching their posts, ready for the minions to come in and start this game for Valanth League Division 2 between Lethal Tempo Academy and Hen Haven.
We are just catching up here. It's just gonna take me a minute.
Okay. Yep. Well, we had a pause anyway. Yeah. Yeah, there have been a few issues with in game at the moment. Certainly, the other games I've been casting in the last week. Yesterday, actually, as well. There were a lot of players having issues, so we blame Riot. It's all right. Then the screen will pause a bit just after a in-game pause. This is what it'll do, and it'll figure itself out in a minute. But we can see that. Yeah, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say there's the comment taken for the Malphite in the mid lane, which is quite common with Scorch. They're gonna try poke this Yone out of lane, make it impossible for him to play. Yeah, and that. Oh,
Yep,
I'm moving again.
Yep. Yeah, obviously the Malphite's got to kind of keep up with this Yone, especially being against a manless champion. He's got to really conserve that mana use and make the most of the damage that he does dish out as well.
Yeah, we see junglers seem to be full clearing to the opposite sides of the map. Kane is going from bot to top, trying to path up to the Shen, which I'm not sure is the correct choice, especially when you have this Samira in the bot lane, which you are quite vitally need to get ahead. But and then the Amumu is pathing top to bot, a bit slower than the Kane, but we'll make it down there eventually. Maybe to see some. Oh, Kane is going for a invade here.
Yeah,
Oh no, he's going
invade,
for
or he's just going behind. Very clever pathing here, and hopefully we should be moving there eventually as well. Straight into the Yoni as well. Hamda Lancelot is very far in his lane, but of course he will be able to dash out with the empowered Q.
Amumu was hovering on the Raptors, never really in any danger. Kane's gonna go. He's gonna be spotted on a ward, going to its Raptors. Tahm Kench will have full vision. Everyone feels very safe right now. The Amumu hasn't been spotted yet. Pathing down to this bot side. I'm sure they have an inkling as he's not been sent, but we'll see where he has to go. Just trading. No health bars are getting too low.
Yeah, he's moved down to the bot side now, and mid lane is very action heavy at the moment. The Yoni actually losing that trade as well. Mumu is on the side waiting to pounce. Seeing nothing in there, but they're going in now. Misses the bandage toss sadly, but he is there trying to do as much damage as he can. He will have a second one, but in the meantime, in the top lane, we're going to go to the Kane ganking onto the Tahm Kench, but he is going to be able to zip out of there and jump away to safety. So no kills just yet, with a couple of juicy ganks almost getting those kills.
Flashed is forced out by the Tahm Kench, which could lead to a further gank. I expect that to come through relatively soon, trying to get this Yone a lead, get him out of this lane, which can be miserable for him. CS leads though have been accrued by the Yone. Small lead, but it's a lead nonetheless. Kane's coming for another top gank.
Yeah, looks like he has got the Conqueror, so he is trying to get those stacks onto the melee champions, and we're gonna have a pause as well, which is a shame. But yeah, you can see obviously melee champions, which people, obviously Yoni is melee. People think, maybe you just got to gank the tanks, but obviously, as a Kane where he's going to gank based on his rune, really. So obviously trying to get those stacks nice and early. But going to struggle against a beefy Tahm Kench and a pretty mobile Yoni as well. As we wait for some more internet issues, sadly, still in this day and age. You think by now, 2023, that it's be a thing of the past, but it's...
Yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but thank God we've got remakes now. Remember, were you in the days of no remakes in League of Legends?
No, it's just afterward, but I heard of the tales.
I see. Yeah, you were never. It feels like it's a soldier in the war or something. It's like you weren't there. You weren't there when we had to face four. We were 4 members against 5, and no way out. From 5 minutes. And the fact that only this year that ARAM has had that. After 10 years of League. But there you go. I mean, more than 10 years now. But yeah, so far the action's really only been in the mid lane, kind of the heavy action. Nothing in the bot lane to really note. Yeah. But I suppose the Kane's kind of been dictating that really where he goes. Amumu's just kind of reacting, I suppose, in some way and just trying to see where that is as well.
Just been covering, getting his full clear done. The bot crab was secured for Amumu, which might mean that the enemy bot lane would be less safe, but as you can see, there's 3 wards surrounding every entrance to the river and trying to gank. So unless a lane gank, which might come through for the Amumu, as this bot wave seems to be shoving in towards LTA side, and Amumu is going to be spotted on this ward, and he's going to ping it out. He's got the sweeper up.
Has been pinged, so we'll have to return for the gank again.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kane obviously sticking around in the top side.
Yeah, he's just trying to bully this Tahm Kench, make sure his Shen can farm up.
Yep.
I'm not sure if we'll see this Heartsteel variation that some Shens have been going, or if it will lean towards something like the Jack Show or the Crossfire.
Yeah, the Heartsteel, it was good when it first came out, but obviously it's had a bit of a nerf since, so not quite as common an item now as it used to be for the tanks. But yeah, like you said, there's Jack Show, which is the obvious item. You've got quite a mixture of damage on the side of LTA, so the mix of magic resistance and armor makes sense there, really.
Yeah. The range creeps, I mean, this wave crashes for LTA. They're going to be able to move towards this first Drake. Chemtech Drake is sometimes seen as unimpactful. It's going to be a little dance around it.
Yeah, Drake is getting really low now. Mumu is going to try and get it, but no, it's stolen away from the Kayn, and now the action really starts as well. The Mumu trying to do what he can, but it's the Misfortune who takes down the enemy jungler, and it's a 1-for-1 at the moment. Samira takes Mumu down. Misfortune getting her second kill of the game, and now the Karma is going to have to run for the hills, but not going to get away. It's a triple. Can she make it a quadra kill? The Malphite is very tanky though, and he's going to be alright, and unfortunately mourn the loss of his comrades as a huge win for LTA there.
Yeah, securing the first blood, losing the dragon unfortunately, but as I said, Chemtech Dragon isn't seen as the most important. This PTA MF means that they have a lot of early game priority in these skirmishes, along with the CC coming through from Amumu. It's they did manage to secure the Drake there, but it's always dangerous walking into like an Amumu with the lethal tempo Yone. They're going to be able to auto attack and free hit and stack, and that's pretty much always going to spud devastation.
Yeah,
for,
it looks good when the Kayn has stolen the dragon, but of course he probably sacrificed a lot of damage output there to do that. So it was a bit of a sticky situation, and the Misfortune was freely just giving out that damage. Pre-6 as well, not even full potential Misfortune, and yeah, so much damage to begin with compared to a Samira who's not going to be doing quite as much pre-6, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's sometimes when Samira can get in and get that Conquest stacked, she can certainly do stuff with the move speed she gets from her passive. She can be very deadly in team fights, but she didn't get the opportunity to there.
Yeah, it was just kind of the moment that would really go one way or the other for each ADC as well, and now it's the Misfortune that's sitting nicely on the 3 kills, and Samira is going to really have to, get back into the game now somehow and see if they can get a pick with the help of their jungler maybe.
And this Noon Quiver pickaxe base for the MF is gonna be deadly. Oh.
And another pause again.
Another pause.
Oh no. Doesn't matter what rank you are, you're always gonna have issues.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, as I said, this Misfortune is insanely far ahead right now. They'll be able to permanently get this shove, move out, help their Amumu with whatever he wants to do. Maybe they can unlock this Seraphine and the MF can sit in the bot lane. She's never in any danger anymore really. She can always trade back. Unless obviously the Kayn comes down for a gank. But even then, Kayn doesn't have the most priority on a gank, and with the W on the MF, she's always very safe.
Yeah, as obviously should be all right there. I mean, there's some heavy engage, but if Seraphine can land that encore to the right time, when you're the Misfortune, it's all about distancing and your positioning, isn't it? Because you just can't be in range of the Malphite because it's just literally as it is an unstoppable force, closing the name. But we might be facing here. Kayn might be in a bit of trouble in the river here as he's facing against 2 members of LTA. When the screen will unfreeze again. I really hope there are no more game pauses. Should definitely be a system like a 3-strike system, maybe. How many? To enjoy the action. But Kayn, he's been rooted before he can even jump through the wall. One more tick on the Amumu, and that is a second death for the game. It's a big climb back for the Kayn now.
Indeed. The Giant's Belt coming through for the moment. Oh, that's trading going on in the mid lane.
Yeah, Hand of Lancelot. He does have that last Fate's Breath, I should say. Last breath.
Ultimate's going to be traded.
Fate Sealed. There we go. I get so mixed up between Yone and Yasuo sometimes. It's quite remarkable. But yeah, I mean, you can tell he's now got the dominance and the farm difference as well over that Malphite, and that to actually ult away to be able to survive that.
Yeah, it's gonna be an AP Malphite.
Oh yeah, just look to one-shot that ADC really.
Yeah, their only primary goal is to get onto this Misfortune. I wouldn't mind if the Gale Force came in over the Kraken for this.
Yeah, but we got some action in the top lane. Kayn is again trying to focus that Tahm Kench as much as possible. He's getting low, ticking almost but just not enough damage just yet to really penetrate that thick hide of the Tahm Kench. But just get those stacks as a saving grace, I suppose.
Certainly quite a beefy boy up there in the top lane.
Yeah, looks like Tahm Kench also building into that Divine Thunderer as well. So going to be doing a lot of damage and sustain as well. Dicing with death here is probably going to be a death, considering, oh, I thought a directed camera being on the jungle camp probably means, I thought, or it's just very close. Just some very close action.
With the smite.
Yeah.
It's not as much sustain coming through from the junglers anymore after the jungle changes. Pretty in the top lane. Nothing too. Oh my god. Nothing too heavy.
Yeah, just unstoppable force against an immovable object up there, really.
Yeah, indeed.
Clash of the Titans. I mean, Shen does do some fair damage, I suppose, you know, with that percent health on his empowered Q as well.
And the trading power grasp of the Undying also grants, which both top laners would have chosen in this game.
Yeah, obviously will be stronger as the game goes through, but going in with the taunt for the Shen, see if he can get a kill, but again, just a bit of skirmishing really, just trying to assert lane dominance, I suppose, really more than anything.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, the Drake you can see in your mini-map has been started.
Yeah.
And looks like there's going to be no contest either. I'm going to go straight over to LTA for their first Drake of the game.
It'll be Infernal Soul for this game.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, it can be. It's certainly very explosive. It can be a win condition if Hen Heaven start to can find a way to find this bot push and start stacking these Drakes, but into the Seraphine and the Misfortune, I can never see it happening.
Yeah.
Really, until yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that Dragon Soul proc could be huge for either side, you know, if you've got a Misfortune with that poke damage, or the Malphite certainly with the full burst engage as well. Going for the flash as well, gone for the knock off onto the Shen, and he might be stuck. I think he might still have his dash. He does flash away instead, but he gets eaten back into the mix from the Tahm Kench. That was a huge range. I was really surprised I managed to do that, but Fate Sealed comes in as well. They're trying to knock away at the Shen, and he still survives. Out of all that, gets the stun under the turret, but no follow-up. And incredibly, he survives two members of LTA there and will just walk away. Quite incredible there. Yeah, but I suppose the Yoni doesn't have a full item yet, so you know, not quite got the expected damage output there. The TP comes back in as well, gets the taunt as well. Turret aggro will fall to the Yoni, but he should be alright and walk away from that. So it's a lot of action with no kills, sadly, and LTA still about 3k gold ahead for now.
So what happened with the Tahm Kench ultimate is, after they changed the ultimate from his W into his R ability, they made it so that if you lick them and then pressure R, the lick will then consume them, which is not something you see often. It's
no way.
A change that kind of went under the radar, but yeah, that's how you get the range on the.
Yeah, that was amazing. That's the first time I've seen it since the rework. Yeah, he's got his Devour on the ultimate now, hasn't he?
Yep.
Which, of course, as a top lane Tahm Kench, you're not going to be using on many allies, so definitely comes in handy. But you can see quite a lot of members of LTA in top side now. There is that control ward, which is probably going to spot the Amumu if he does walk past. But at the moment, we're going to go engage in the bot side ultimate. Unstoppable Force comes out, and Seraphine is getting low for now. But both members are trying to walk away. The Ignite's been popped, and the Samira comes in, gets 2 kills, and matches her ADC opponent to be 3 kills to 1 now.
That is huge. Trading going on in the mid lane, nothing too important. That is huge. The W on the Samira being used to block the Encore coming through. Really, as you said, if that Encore doesn't land and the Unstoppable Force from the Malphite does, then there's not really a lot you can do as the stacks come through and the Samira roll comes out. Really well played there from the bot lane and the mid lane of Henhaven.
Yeah, it was really nicely played, and like you said, that kind of just ability matchup almost, that negating their ability meant they really had no defense and very lack of mobility there to get out. So their fate indeed was sealed, despite the Yoni not being there. But yeah, so really nicely brings this game back to literally 1,000 gold difference, and basically on a knife's edge, who makes the next move. So
as I said, I'm not a massive fan of this Kraken Slayer coming out from the Misfortune here. I feel like I would have really enjoyed the Gale Force to try and get away from some of that engage coming in from the Malphite.
Yeah, the dash is really nice just to avoid the abilities, even like some poke from the Karma, for instance, as well, just to make yourself a bit more mobile, because of course the Misfortune is going to be probably the prime candidate of focus with those engages. There's the Rift Herald. First one of the game, good to see it actually focus on the directed camera, contrary to previous streams. And going over to LTA, do still seem to have most of the control LTA, despite that hiccup down in the bot lane.
I'm sure they're going to try to get this Herald down in the mid lane. Amuma's walking in for it now. This cracking of the mid turret and getting it open at such an early point in the game will mean they can obviously move from the mid lane, and then they can move that priority into the Drake pit to make sure they're stacking these Infernal Drakes, which are going to be so vital in this game.
Indeed, yeah, first Infernal of the game, adding that damage proc, and also building up to that really important Dragon Soul with that huge damage proc that comes out.
Yeah, indeed.
Drake up in a few seconds and going in and moving on to the bandage toss as well. Flashes for the ultimate, the bullet time coming out. Then 2 members of Haven for now. Shen Stand United is going to come in to try and pick up the pieces, but to no avail. Tahm Kench interrupts that. He might lose his own life for it though, but he has protected his own team, who are going to be able to take the dragon with just the 1 kill taken away there on the Malphite.
Yeah, this Curse of the Sad Mummy, when the Curse of the Sad Mummy hits and then the Misfortune can layer on top of it, the Encore can layer on top of it, it is deadly.
Yeah, with that Amumi passive coming in for converting the magic damage to true damage is massive. And really, like you said, you know, those kind of ability interrupts or outplays, that was the Tahm Kench interrupting that Stand United, which ultimately probably saved that fight for them.
Yeah, if the Shen can get in there, it can be a whole different story.
But he's got him with the taunt as well. One more hit should do it, but of course the Grey Hell comes in handy there. He's hanging on the toad, or catfish. Always thought it was a toad, but I've been proven wrong.
Yeah.
One great big catfish with legs. But no deaths from the Shen as well, including the Tahm Kench actually. I mean, literally no kill participation from either top laner, considering there's been 8 kills in this game, is quite remarkable.
And yeah, it's the Gore Drinker is coming online for the Kayn, so that does massively increase his ability to drain in these team fights as they're pinging mid lane.
Yeah, hasn't transformed yet though, so he's definitely still got to be careful with that. I think he's probably pretty close. I'm not sure if it only actually tells you, unfortunately, how well he's doing, but I'm sure he's getting pretty close. We shall see for now. But yeah, normally, I mean, it's normally about 10 minutes as someone who dipped into Kayn. Sometimes 10 to 12 minutes is your optimum point to be transforming. So the fact he hasn't still, after almost 20 minutes, is probably quite a concern for Haven.
Dude, it is. He's gonna...
Yeah, maybe those last few stacks. Probably not looking for a kill here, but he's going to activate the Umbral Trespass. And he is under turret though. The Mumu's here, does get the bandage toss, and it's just a simple kill. I'm sure he must have just been doing that for his stacks.
Yeah.
But does lose his life, and it goes over to the Yoni as well. Second kill of the game, which is not where you want to be given those kills.
Very, very greedy coming out from Kayn here, trying to get this transformation.
Oh yeah, nice block again from the Samira, but not going to avoid the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Encore comes in, but just flashes away to safety. And that was the combo you were talking about that almost just took down the entire bot lane of Henhaven.
Yeah, it just seems if the one CC gets blocked, then 3 more rocks are gonna come and hit you right in the face. So it's good flashes coming out, but those will not be available for this for the next fights coming up, which would be the dragon. Also, quickly, how do you see the dragon timers?
Yeah, so it's either, which one is it? It's N. So a minute and a half till the next Infernal Drake.
Yeah.
And
Sorry
both,
about that one.
yeah, and LTA of course do have the 2 Drakes now, so you know, getting this one will mean on Soul Point, and Henhaven have got to pretty much not put a step wrong there.
Yeah. Looking to be slipping away from them.
Yeah.
This Malphite is still gonna be building towards AP, and the curious thing is, even though they have a Shen and a Malphite, the Shen has gone for a Heartsteel, which means there's not real armor coming in, and it's a full AP Malphite, which means although they may seem tanky in appearance, they can actually be deceptively squishy.
Yeah, certainly to the magic damage, you know, the likes of the Amumu and the Bullet Time Ultimate, and even the Seraphine to some extent as well, so yeah, I guess obviously the Shen's health will help with the Stand United shield as well, scaling with health, so it does give that at least. But yeah, like you said, doesn't have the most armor in the world on the Shen, so you know, if he comes across the Yone, or you know, in a side lane against a Yone, he's going to struggle there.
Indeed. And the IE is on the Misfortune coming around this dragon fight, and I think this is looking incredibly scary. But unless they can find that unstoppable force here.
Yeah, all 10 members are on the map, and it goes engaged with the Shen on the taunt, but the bullet time hits 4 members. The Curse of the Sad Mummy also hits 3 as well, but the unstoppable force is just too late. Now LTA look like they are winning this fight with a clean ace. And that is exactly what it is, and they'll get their 3rd Drake to complement it.
And that encore coming through from a Seraphine was beautiful. It just kept going through all of the members of Henhaven there.
Yeah, it was just so well cleanly executed, wasn't it? Yeah, some beautiful things you like to see in League. That's what keeps us going.
That looked like it should be on the on one of those montages. 5-man ultimates wipe the team.
Yeah, that was definitely a play of the game right there.
Yeah.
And now that means Baron as well going over to LTA, and it is a huge mountain to climb now for Henhaven, which is going to take this. Yeah, I'm just going to say take this goal difference to over almost 9,000. Where do you think it's fallen apart for Henhaven here? Just the team fights, or just cross map coordination?
Yeah, it just seems that these dances around the Drake, they just seem to be I don't think they are aware of how strong they are in their situation, it seems. If the CC does land and Samira does get in, then it can be deadly, but it's just they seem to be unaware, and they seem to be not ready and prepared when this Amumu seems to be going in just that tad bit quicker than the Malphite can engage, and that's all it comes down to really in that team fight, is those split-second engages.
Yeah, really. I mean, you saw that the Shen was actually the first one to engage, and you thought that was it, but actually it was because of that engage that it lined up perfectly for the Seraphine there and collected all members Henhaven for that ace.
Objective bounties are coming through, quite big ones at that.
Yeah.
For the side of Henhaven, I mean, there's always ways to come back, but it's looking more and more unlikely.
Yeah, well, we'll tell you now as well, in the games that we cast last week, there was a 10,000 gold lead which was turned around and lost. Yeah, so it definitely is possible. And I literally said as well in that cast that I think in this day and age of League, I think it's a lot easier to come back than it used to be with those bounties, with on both turrets and objectives, and the Unstoppable Force comes in, but Seraphine is going to be safe for now. A Fate Seal does excellently. 4 members of Henhaven are rooted to the spot by the Mummy, and they're going to have to walk away from this. They are still alive now. The Seraphine doing her work, and Samira still alive for now. She's trying to do as much as she can, try and stay alive, hold her team in this game, but they are falling one by one. And now the inhibitor turret is on the menu for LTA.
Yeah, you said earlier in the game that the top Tom Kench doesn't tend to consume their teammates, but that one was executed perfectly to stop the dive coming in onto the Seraphine. And then, as we said, they have a lot of go buttons on the side of Henhaven, but you know they only have them once, and once they're used up, the wallets of LTA tend to come out, and they will just be slapping them around.
Yeah, you saw it was a relatively good engage from the Malphite. Yeah. They managed to get a squishy target, but it's just so hard to follow up when you're a squishy Karma, when you're a squishy Samira. Yeah. And Shen obviously can just provide that support, but he can't take down the kill for you. And the Kayn obviously is just all about sustain. So, you know, if your Samira can't get in, then you've got no damage to finish off the kill. And unfortunately, Malphite just doesn't have quite enough to be able to one-shot a squishy that can also be peeled away with the Tahm Kench. So you can just see a lot of almosts there, and I think LTA have played this really well.
They've been fighting mechanically. There's not a lot you can say that they have done wrong. They've been finding their engages. They've been playing their comp to how they want to play, and it's all been going well. So
yeah. Fortunately, though, I mean, on the plus side, the Samira has got an okay score, has got now the Infinity Edge to match her ADC opponent, but of course now Miss Fortune is building up to a Bloodthirster, I believe, from that, probably.
Yeah, that's what it appears to be. And the Yone spikes, he's also looking towards that Infinity Edge, and then that 3-item spike is also deadly. Yeah, so the Samira still can be effective, but I just don't see any way that the Samira is gonna cut through this Tahm Kench and this Amumu in the team fight very effectively, especially without the Lord Dominic's Regard coming through.
Yeah, of course, wanting that anti-tank power. As the next Drake is up, this could be Soul for LTA, and if there wasn't already a nail in the coffin, or all nails in the coffin, it would be now if they take this. Currently no contest. Kayn is in the backside though, and they're going for the engage. Got to knock up onto the Misfortune, but can they follow up as well? In the meantime though, Yone takes down the Samira on the backline. That is the damage for Henhaven gone. And now the Kayn is just going to have to get out of there. The Drake is still up, but it's probably going to be going over to LTA now. And the Kayn is just going to have to walk away from this unless he can get one last steal. He has been spotted though in the control ward, and no, he's going to get taken down where he stands. The soul goes over, but it wasn't really needed because LTA just wiped the floor with Henhaven and take this game with flying colours.
Farming them in their base.
Oh, yeah. Just buff up those stats, but we do eventually get the Nexus taken down. And a brilliant win for Lethal Tempo Academy.
Yeah, indeed. They for a team that hadn't picked up a win before, they looked clinical in that game. Apart from the bot lane 2v3 where the Malphite found the engage, that's all Henhaven really found in that game.
Yeah, it was just a pretty big snowball in the end, wasn't it? That those kind of little battles that broke out, the Kayn getting caught out as well. And to be fair, I mean, my MVP would be Zero on the Amumu, because I think he really enabled his lanes, as it were, and eventually the Yonis come out with 19,000 damage, and the Kayn's come out with 4,000. So, you know, the Amumu's done 5k more damage, and just, you know, those ultimates were incredible to watch as a Amumu player myself as well, to land 4 members pretty much every time. I think he got 4 or more in every single ultimate he used, which says it all really. So yeah,
as you can see there's the 15 out of 17 in the kill participation, being there for almost every kill. He had a lot of impact on this game in the team fights in the early game. He played incredibly well
Yeah,
in that game.
indeed. Yeah. Yeah, so lots of action. Unfortunately, no comeback this time, but I think it was duly deserved and wasn't was difficult certainly to come back from that. So we will go to 2 minutes for a break, and Henhaven will be coming back to see if they can salvage a win in their second game against Dishonored. So stay where you are, and we'll be back very soon. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the second game for tonight for the Valanth League Split 1 Division 2. We'll be continuing to follow Henhaven, who unfortunately did lose out on their first game quite emphatically, and we'll be facing up against Dishonored, who have been doing pretty well themselves. They have won 3, lost 3, played 3, won 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really nice score so far, as hopefully Henhaven can pull one back. So, of course, I'm alongside Zyduk. There we go.
Dude,
I'm
yeah.
learning, you see. Every day's a school day.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think needs to happen for Henhaven to improve on that one? What can they take as their learnings from that?
I think they just need to be more decisive around these objectives. Definitely, they're a bit hesitant around the objectives in the in these brawls. Some people wanted to go in. It looked like some people didn't, and it eventually ended up to everyone dying and them getting a snowballing lead. So yeah, they need to be careful about around these objectives, but hopefully they can be a bit more decisive and um find a way find a way in and find a way to get this lead that they were looking for with that smear and the karma. It'd just be interesting to see in what direction they go toward.
Yeah, I think there were definitely some positives they can take. You know, like we said, that the Samira did get that double kill in the bot side river, and you know we thought that was going to be the start of something, but unfortunately it just fell away. And
Yeah.
yeah, I do think it was a jungle in the end that really
Uh-huh.
was the problem there. So I don't think the cane is probably going to be picked up this time either. So we shall see. As we are
Getting a
now.
bit
Yeah, go on.
out of meta. That's for Zyra coming through. I've said they have a bit of a Zyra one trick, I believe.
Yeah, it was the first ban last game as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's on the support, I believe. But Samira, there you go, is taken away this time. So Dishonored have done their homework, seen the match history, and see that it could have posed a bit of a threat, and did do pretty well. And the Fiddlesticks and Brand, two kind of maybe alternative picks. More looks like more targeted bans here rather than meta.
Yeah, I mean, like that Fiddlesticks can certainly spell doom along with that brand. The Caitlyn and the Zeri, that's something you would see definitely in professional play. Rakan first picked here. It's not the
Yeah.
it's not famously the most picked right now, but he got buffs on this 13.3 patch.
Oh.
Azaya gonna be picked away as the denial, maybe
Yeah.
from the
Yeah, the two
as for
lovers
denial.
kept apart.
Zara Khan, yeah, indeed. Tragedy, really.
Out, please.
Yeah, something Shakespeare would write about. But yep, Zara is gonna be locked in. She's very strong with this patch with the ability to build the Navori Quick Blade second, which she also loves. She can be also paired along with another one of these engaged supports. You generally like to see a Nautilus or a Blitzcrank, a Pike picked into this Rakan, which can stop the engage, because Rakan, although being an engaged champ, is very squishy. Karma is going to be picked up again. Not sure how I feel about this one.
Yeah, it didn't seem to really pull off that much last game. You know, you talked about the early game engages and poke sort of thing, but didn't really get
Yeah,
get
it,
with
it
that.
didn't come to fruition. But Zaya maybe a champ that can come along this poke route if they so desire, and they can maybe form more of a poke comp.
I like that. I don't know if you meant that, but the desire
The
there.
desire.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that one. Nice.
Yeah, just so natural,
Nice.
clearly. But yeah, in
Yeah.
return, the Kaiser is going to be picked out instead.
Yeah. Kaiser is also another one of these, another one of the champs which is going to be favoring these early items, and any champ which would have built IE is going to be very strong. Jarvan locked in here. A lot
Yeah,
of
I like it.
proactivity coming out.
Yeah, I like the Kaiser into this with the killer instinct, because the Rakan obviously has got so much mobility and can dash
Yep.
forward, knocking up the right target, and obviously the Kaiser can easily get in very quickly and join him into that fight, as well as the Jarvan if he gets a good knockup. But nicely
Oh, I would love
responded
Poppy
with
here.
the Poppy. Yeah, I do really like that if it is locked in here. And it
It's
is,
very
yeah,
strong pick into the Jarvan, stopping that flag and drag because it's been so coined. The
indeed.
Rakan also denying the engage, and the Kai'Sa. All three of them have pivotal dashes in their kit, which Poppy can just W and stop.
Yeah, it's nice when it's kind of strategically picked. I mean, you
Yeah.
don't know whether they're going to pick Poppy in the first place at all, but yeah, it does look like they've maybe changed direction in their picks for here for
Yeah.
the Poppy to come out. As we will now go on to the second ban phase for each team.
Jack's band. He's very very prevalent in the top lane right now. Seems to every game I load into has a 10-0 Jack, so I think that's good at this band away. Syndra banned again. Two different teams, both banning the Syndra. She's very strong, very reliable scaling. Instance composition has a very easy kit to play around in a communicative 5v5 setting.
Yeah, I mean it's a point and click R that just
Yeah.
deletes an enemy. So yeah, good to take that away. Of course, something like the Kaiser is going to be pleased to see that, and the Mordekaiser band as well, which
Yeah.
has been more prevalent recently, but in the
Uh,
jungle probably more than the top lane at the moment.
Mordekaiser's the champ that enjoys this demonic embrace. There's the Vigar band of one of his safe
Yeah,
scaling picks.
another point and click R ultimate.
Yep.
There's a theme coming, but yeah, so a lot of mid laners taking out the picture here, which will be interesting to see because both mid laners haven't picked their champions, so has kind of reduced the pool a bit, but I'm sure there's going to be plenty of choice still. As a Scion is looking to be hovered here and is locked in as well, blind pick, but of course Scion should be all right. He can face pretty well against most top laners.
Definitely seeing a lot of big beefy boys coming out of this top lane. The Silent Azir is going to be picked. It's going to be hovered, I should say.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
the Azir and
the mind
Rise to
games coming out here.
Castillo.
Yeah,
Azir.
and goes back to plan A,
Yeah,
which again another dashing champion as well.
it is. This Poppy is just getting more and more,
Just don't use any other
more and
abilities.
more
Just press W.
prevalent.
That's it. Don't need anything else.
Build your CDR boots, build
Yeah,
your full CDR items, and just press W.
yeah.
That's all you
I
need.
mean, you joke again. You know, we were talking about last game about those ability blocks,
Yeah.
and that ultimately could actually be the difference in a team fight here between the two teams. And the Shen used by Henhaven in the last game, but instead going to be taken away and used against them for Dishonored with an Anivia to match the
Yeah.
Azir in the mid lane.
I'm not sure I'm completely a fan of the Anivia here. It feels like she's just in that awkward range where Azir will bully her, but she doesn't have like the quite the damage to bully Azir back. But when it gets to level 6, Anivia will get that ultimate up and she'll be able to get the priority in the mid lane. And also, another thing to mention is that Anivia and Poppy have a very nice combo where Anivia will put the W up behind the Azir and Poppy can just come in and eat the
Oh,
Azir into that wall.
yeah, very nice. Yeah,
Which can lead to a very deadly gank combo. And then once that lands, the Poppy can W on top of him and the Azir would have no chance of escape.
yeah. Although we currently they're not going to swap. Okay, so we have the ADC on the Azir, I think,
Unless they
unless
load it
they're
into
swapping
game.
lanes. Yeah,
Because
because
I
I
think
yeah, go on.
that sounds strange
Yeah, I
to
mean
me.
we'll have to see what happens in game, but yeah, I assumed that the players had come in pick order,
Yeah. Um,
but maybe it's a mind game switcheroo. It can't be, maybe.
they are both labeled as playing 80 carries, so Shenzhen
Yeah,
is
I'm just
a
double
big
checking
price
now.
now.
Sorry.
Laszlo has a game on his ear. this season.
That's good. He has a game. Yep. Confirmed he has played that champion. But I mean, Laszlo, yeah, because I had assumed he was ADC because he's got games of Lucian, Samira, Zaya, Ashe as well. But he did have a Azir game, like you said, went 6 and 17 12 days ago. So not sure if that was a really serious
It
game.
was a win.
But
It was a win.
yeah, but he did go 19 and 8 on a Samira. And Shenzhen has also got Zaya and Kai'Sa and Caitlyn
Yeah.
and Jin. So I think, yeah, Shenzhen looks like he's going to be the ADC. So it's not going to be some mad switcheroo.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see as we get into the game here. I mean, that would certainly be
Literally the two champions that should swap as well, though. You know, it just seems
yeah.
seems a bit mad that if Nazir is acting as a APC, as it were. But anyway, apart from that shenanigan, assuming the Azir does go where he's meant to go in the mid lane, and the Kai'Sa sticks to her bot lane, how do you match these two compositions up?
Yeah, I mean, everyone on the side of Dishonored has a dash in, which is stylistically countered by the
Yeah,
Poppy. She is very strong into all of their champions, including the Shen and the Azir, which were picked after the Poppy was selected.
yeah,
Which it does seem slightly strange, but I feel like both these compositions coming out are a lot stronger. They have a lot more mix of damage than our last game. And but the Scion, he's been a pick in the meta, especially in towards professional play. It
mm.
feels like you can go down 30 CS, you can die 3 times, and as the boss would say, you would be taking good deaths, and you are always incredibly tanky in that team fight, and he always does his job.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to be beefy, and of course,
Yeah.
when you're a champion with an ability that stacks your health as well, rather than just items, then it's not as bad when you're behind and trying to stack up that gold because you're just stacking up the health
Yeah.
anyway. So yeah, the Scion should be okay in that top lane. I mean, Shen does do that percent health like we said, so early game is going to be interesting because I think actually both these champions have got quite a strong early game in terms of their damage stats. The Scion
Yeah.
has very high base AD on his Q, for instance, and the Shen, of course, can block those auto attacks. So yeah, and then of course after that just become tanking menaces.
Oh.
But how do you see? I'm always interested about Jarvan plays and the Jarvan item build paths as well, because you know there are the two options of the tanky Jarvan or the lethality Jarvan. What do you think is kind of the route to go here? Does it matter on the composition you're against, or is there just kind of one route you
Yeah,
usually go for?
I think it very much depends. I always like to see the Umbral Glaive come out of the Jarvan and then go into more of a Gore Drinker brain tanky build.
Yeah,
Uh, to come out from the Jarvan, but there's not really
Welcome
a
to
lot. I don't
Celebrate
believe the
Rhythm,
Jarvan has a lot of space in this game. As I said, being stylistically countered
a
by the
summoner
Poppy,
has
who's gonna
disconnected.
clear quicker as well. She's gonna be
A
more
summoner
proactive, and
has
there's gonna be another
reconnected.
force.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, and also the Jarvan's one goal tends to be to find the AD carry and lock the AD carry down.
mm,
But the AD carry is playing as Zaya, who is infamously as safe with that Featherstorm.
yeah.
She goes untargetable,
A
and
summoner
she'll be
has
able to dodge
disconnected.
this Jarvan in a team fight, and then once you've flagged and dragged it in, you haven't hit anyone. You're kind of just a sitting duck, aren't you?
Yeah, of course, it is an ultimate cooldown as well, so won't always have it available, but you know does have that flash to complement as well. So, like you said, a very tricky player to track down, but has got some good backup in the form of the Shen, and of course the Rakan as well. So, despite our
A
praise
summoner
and
has disconnected.
huge compliments towards the Poppy and the W. It is just one ability, so she is going to
Yeah,
have to pick and choose where she uses it, and that ultimately is going to decide how well this Poppy does come off.
yeah, indeed, yeah. And there's looking like a botline 5v5 coming in from the side of Dishonored. They're
Yeah,
trying to squeak out an early lead, and it looks like Zion
A
might
summoner has
just face check into this
reconnected.
bush, which could spell disaster for her. If this Rakan hits the W, she gets knocked up.
Yep.
She can't flash. She can only exhaust one person, and Zaya level 1 infamously not too good.
Yeah. Of course, doesn't quite have the escapability as well as level 6. And yeah, it's quite interesting, this kind of freeze frame. It's almost like a what's happened next, or what's going to happen next. Is it A, the Zaya's going to come down and get caught out? Is it B, nothing happens?
Yeah.
Or is it C, that actually it's a counter engage? But as you can see, the Scion is in the top side, and the Shen has even joined the fray here as well. So hopefully Henhaven really looking for some really early first blood here. But we shall see, as I think the Anivia has reconnected with some internet issues. Should be coming back in very, very soon. Just, there we go. Oh, got my own predictions today as well. But Zaya's there. No AFKs, no tabbing out this time. And simply just a ward going to be put down. And at least Dishonored are aware what's happening. Bit of a freeze frame, of course, when the game pauses. And that's just how it is. But it's, yeah.
With the TP changes, Sion can't join this one, even though the way that Henhaven are posturing, they might like it a bit, because Jarvan isn't the strongest champ, but Zero isn't the strongest champ level 1. I feel like in a world a year ago there was a chance for a big 5v5 level 1 with a Sion CP, but we are in 2023, so it's
the
going to
way
be
it is.
starting.
I did used to enjoy Lethality Scion was quite prevalent at one point. I think it was probably even last season, maybe the season before, where you could just stack Lethality, but then also be really tanky because of your W passive, and was a bit of a force to reckon with. But we are now in 2023, and yeah, you do assume with that Grasp on dying as well that he's just going to be a very tanky boy indeed. Both junglers. Sorry, just going to say.
Down.
Yeah, both junglers starting in the top side, and looking probably for that bot lane engage to try and get some kills on the map there. As the Rakan goes in first, gets the knock off onto the Xayah, but unfortunately no follow up from his ADC, and actually probably loses that trade.
Yeah, the trade back from the Xayah and the Calm with the Mantra Q is insanely strong. She has a lot of damage.
Poppy straight in though as well. Knock the Azir back towards the Anivia, but is there going to be enough damage for now? No, not quite. And Laslam will be able to stay under his turret. Very, very low though indeed, and he's going to have to be very careful now with this Anivia.
Yeah, it's not good. You never want to see the Anivia being shoved in.
Ooh, nice taunt as well. Getting that percentage health damage, doing a lot of chunking, but Sion is going to return fire as well. We're going to go back to the bot lane though. Rakan has got the knock up on 2 members. Just nothing really threatening for now, but Shen actually come back here, and it's Styler, the one that is lower than the Sion for now.
Indeed it is. Poppy is going for this
Oh, but we're going in as well. Azir getting really aggressive now. One more hit onto the Anivia. Will just pop the egg for now. Is under turret and gets one soldier just stabbing away bit by bit. Kind of a bit of a comical in some ways. But instead, we're going to go back to the top side. Now both champions very, very low. One more auto attack from the soldier does it. And Azir is able to walk away. Minions are not able to get him as much as they tried. They could not save their Anivia. And first blood does go to Laslam in the mid lane.
TP will be coming in, but CS advantage still for the Anivia, although the kill gold in the first blood will mean that the Azir is coming back with a nice bit of AP and some boots, which will help him survive these Poppy ganks.
Yeah, did try and make an early impact in that mid lane, and actually it was the Azir that was the one, especially because once the egg passive had been popped on the Anivia, you thought maybe being a bit more cautious, but in the end, lost the life already on Anivia, literally the only one on the map with that kind of passive. I suppose Sion, you have Zombie Sion, all blocked into the wall, just like you said, the perfect combo, activates the W to get no dashes away, and he will be taken down. Poppy, just one more minion is going to take it. No, the level up! Surely saves. That would have been a dead Poppy. And it's those fine margins, my friend, that makes this game exciting and keeps us wanting more.
Jarvan gonna find anything here?
Oh, it's a recall in the bush. It's a lazy recall. Can't do the flag and drag just yet. We're going to break away, apparently, and not entertain any of that action because Jarvan is just going to walk away, see if he can take down the Anivia instead as a second prize, but just won't have the damage, unfortunately, for now.
Indeed. And with the scaling that can come out from this Anivia, that getting kills and getting the prio and getting the CS leads that she's accruing this early is good.
Oh, some fancy feet from the Rakan as well, but not the biggest impact at the moment. Probably a bit too early for a Kai'Sa to be really doing anything just yet. I'd say probably best bet is to really wait till the level 6. Not going to be able to do much, especially with the Karma protecting her ADC with those shields.
This Xayah is incredibly safe. Took that exhaust above the level of safety.
Yeah, definitely no issue there. But interesting, the Sion is actually dominating that lane. I thought maybe the Shen might be the one doing a bit better with that ability to dodge the Q, but in the end, Poppy, just lined it up there. There was probably half a meter away from a bit of deja vu in his ear, but he is able to jump over the wall this time as the Cloud Drake is up. And both teams looking to take it.
Yeah, Dishonored have caught the recall timing of Henhaven here, and they've said, well, our Azir is shoving you in, our bot lane shoved in, we can start up this Drake, and there's not a lot you can do about it.
Yeah, lane prior is the name of the game there when taking the Drake, and Dishonored will be able to take that without any competition at all.
People don't tend to get too excited about the Cloud Souls.
Oh, they've seen the Poppy over the wall. It must have been a prediction there. And the Rakan has been very aggressive with his feet today and proves that there with the flash engage. And the Poppy is taken down. All of it very solid. No wards were over that wall. So I am... Oh, there was a ward. Yeah, you can just see just over that wall. Yeah, so... just a regular ward, yeah. With the Jarvan for his first kill of the game. Shen getting very low though. Sion does have that on top of the Onslaught, but I don't think he's probably got quite the mana for it, so the Shen is going to be able to recall and come back to his tower without giving over a kill.
Poppy is monstrously behind on CS. Will be about even on XP. It's turning around mid lane a bit, but we'll be behind in this gold with the pickaxe coming out from the Jarvan, which would indicate that he'll be going towards Fiskor Drinker as a first item.
Yeah, I think pickaxe is kind of a nice first component to take. You know, it's just pure AD and just provides you that as much damage as possible, really, with that amount of gold. As you said, he has got a reasonable gap in CS over the Poppy as well, so just hit the level 6. The Cataclysm is available, but in the top side, not able to help this bot lane fiasco at the moment, and both teams just having to go at each other, testing the waters.
Yeah. It's not a more aggressive laning focus room coming out from the Xayah, so she's looking to sit back and scout with the lethal tempo over the Comet or the Aerie. Sometimes see out these lethality.
Yeah, we've got this unstoppable onslaught here. Didn't actually hit the Shen, and it's 2v2 here. Jungler in top lane against jungler and top laner. Hard to say 5 times, but in the end, both teams walking away again. A lot of almost and very close, but in the end, the Rift Herald is going to be the focus instead. And I think, obviously, the Scuttle Crab is there, so they do have some vision of this. But I don't know how much contest there's going to be.
Yeah, Poppy and Sion able to force them off. They keep the aggro, but people will just be dancing on an office herald. I don't think it will quite come to fruition. Bot lane
Yeah.
showing up for it though.
There's a lot of toing and throwing at the moment, and now it's going to be started up again by Dishonored. And doing a bit better staying out of that Scott of Crab vision this time. And I think actually, yeah, I think you can see the Azir, he probably will be in vision when he just stepped forward there. But it looks like Poppy is just going to accept that really, because neither laner really is responding to that.
Yeah. Henhaven have to, they know they have to give that up when the Kaiser is showing on mid wave, because they elected to keep their bot lane. They elected to keep their bot lane under their turret to not miss the CS that was shoved in. So this priority coming out from the Kaiser allowed her to move up and allowed them to secure this first round.
Yep. It's very well done so far objectively from Dishonored. First Drake, first Rift Herald.
Yeah.
But sadly no turret plates have gone down on the side of Henhaven.
There's some small laning leads coming out with the 13 CS lead coming out from the Xayah, and then the CS leads from the Sion and the Anivia, which is not quite what you expect in these matchups. You expect the Sun and the Anivia.
That's a nice taunt under turret. Sion takes a bit of turret aggro, but he is a very tanky boy with that giant's belt, and he just shrugs it off really. And Styler is going to have to be careful. We're getting very low. Unstoppable Onslaught is going to land maybe, but no, just misses as we pan away. And the taunt under the turret, Styler's going to try and survive best he can, but the Decimate, the Q, sorry, on the Sion gets the kill in the end. But in the bot lane now, the Jarvan surprises with the Cataclysm. And as you said, the flash, the Feather Storm comes out. Is she going to be able to survive? She has got no flash. She's got no escape. And the kill does eventually go over to the Jarvan. A very good ambush from the side of Dishonored there.
Yeah. All the CC, well, all the CC in the world can miss, but if you're slowed and you can't run as fast as you'd like to, you can just get auto attacked down by the Kaiser. When she gets the lethal tempo stacked and the passive up, she can get a lot of damage even in these early games.
Yeah, I mean, when you're firing that much at the Xayah, it doesn't matter how nimble you are. Oh, doesn't quite get knock away onto the Jarvan now. It's going to be a 50-50 here. The Anivia with her ultimate is going to cause a lot of damage if she can get it in, but Azir is behind, activates the Emperor's Divide, knocks two members of Henhaven into the pit. The dragon is stolen as well from the Poppy. She's going to be able to walk away for now, and they're going to just try and escape as best they can, but they are stuck. The Rakan knocks over, the flash, the knock up, and that's going to be almost a triple kill maybe. No, the Anivia egg will delay that for now, and who's going to get the kill? It's the Azir for his second of the game, and disaster for Henhaven again round the dragon pit.
Yeah, disaster indeed. As they managed to pick up this Hextech dragon, but they lose 3 members in the process. A little bit of gleaming light in that situation is that the kills, aside from the last one, went onto the Jarvan, who's not where you want to be assigning all your gold when you have this Kaiser and this Azir. But he'll come back, I'm sure, incredibly close to that gold drinker. As this top laner is obsessed with fast.
Ooh, yeah, they really want this Sion down, don't they? He has been a bully and a thorn in the Shen side for now, but 4 members, was it? No, 3 members, yeah, of Dishonored up in the top lane, and still the Sion is able to walk away pretty nicely, and at the moment he is probably their saving grace for Henhaven.
He is indeed. He's pretty safe in this top lane, but it's
Yeah, of course they have done a bit of a lane swap now as well though, so he is going to be against 2 members of Dishonored. See how much he can really be tanky now, really put his money where his tankiness is. He's taking a lot of damage from that Kaiser with that Kraken Slayer, of course. He's really going to feel it. But Poppy's here. See if they can do something now as well. Oh, Killer Instinct already activated from the Kaiser, trying to get a knock up, but the Rakan is just too slippery. And the TP is popped as well for the Azir to try and respond. Some good cooldown flow popped with the ultimate for the Kaiser taken as well as the TP. So now they just need to make it count somehow, Henhaven.
There is still a lot of scaling threat coming out from this Anivia. She'll be looking towards the Rod of Ages and the Seraph's Embrace, which has been a build which has been dominating the tier list, with Rise building it as well, and Nivea is another very strong benefactor of these builds. So it's by no means over. It's by no means nearly over. So there's still a lot of chances for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, only 1,000 gold in it, and the Jarvan with the 4 kills, so he's certainly the one that's got to make a difference here and got to turn the screw, as it were, in this game, because past 20 minutes, his effect really is going to fall off a bit as he goes in with Cataclysm onto the Xayah. There is the Feather Storm to get out, but she's thrown it the wrong way. Is she still going to be able to get out of there? The Rakan just not quick enough. The Karma coming in to save the day, and Damvit gets the kill. And after a great engage, it's the kill that goes the other way.
That was a bit of a butch dive coming out of Rakan. He just went a bit deeper than he thought he could. So terrible.
Yeah, dashed in with the ultimate. They're knocked into the wall again. The Zir goes down, and now we're up to 4 kills for Henhaven. They're pushing it back bit by bit as the Rift Herald is being pinged, seeing if they could push this game. The top turret is taken, and all of a sudden it's Henhaven that look like in control of this game.
This Scion with all this pressure and all this HP, with Demolish coming through as well. As the plates fall, he one-shots these turrets.
Oof. Yeah, oh, and a nice little flash as well from the Shen. Can he stop the Scion though? This Kai'Sa is here with that Kraken Slayer, and that is where is going to be doing the damage on the tank. The Jarvan is here as well. Flashes over the wall, and another flash to try and go, and he's still going, but no, the Rakan stops him in his tracks. And now he's against 4 members of Dishonored. And finally, the Scion is taken down. But so many abilities burned, so many flashes used to finally take him down. And it's going to be so much harder as the game goes on.
Yeah, we almost saw there how impactful these Chemtech plants can be with the Blast Cone sending you absolutely flying.
Yeah.
But it was a good W from the Rakan to stop the escape attempt and stop the Scion dead in his tracks. Unleash Teleport coming in if they want to contest this Drake from the Scion. Shen's not up, but the Stand United from that Shen is up, coming towards this dragon fight.
Yeah, it's all lined up, and he goes in as well. Stand United has been popped, and he's on the back line, but we're going to focus the Poppy, trying to get onto the Kai'Sa best she can. She is by herself, gets a knock onto the Rakan, but she is still facing the ADC, and is going to get taken down just too far away from her team. And now it looks like Dishonored are winning the team fight here. The Karma goes down as well. The Scion, though, coming in, holding the line, while the Xayah is able to survive for now, but all the soldiers of the Emperor come in, taking down the Xayah, and now Henhaven are looking pretty strong here. Scion getting very low though, he's by himself. And in the end, it's Dishonored who seem to win that fight with the Drake still up as well. Laslam gonna have to get out there as soon as he can. Yeah, but quite a back and forth team fight there.
This Jarvan able to find the engage onto the Xayah, even though she's still got that that Feather Storm up, so it's a surprising one then.
Oof. Almost caught out the Kai'Sa, but the Rakan there just to keep things safe. Jarvan doesn't have the flag and drag, gets knocked into the wall. Can he get out of there? No, of course the W, the famous W we talked about. It does exactly what it's meant to do, and finally we see it come in action here. As now she's going to be facing against the Azir, not really bothered about the damage she's taking at the moment, waiting for a W to come up. The soldiers come in for the dash. She's getting very, very low. The Xayah is here to support as well. Can he get the kill? The Nivea is behind as well, and Azir is just stuck between all members of Henhaven, and they do get 2 salvation kills. Salvatory kills? Yeah.
I don't know. Some like maybe kills that save the game, hopefully.
Yeah. Some salvation there for Henhaven.
Yeah.
Indeed. Who actually do have more gold than Dishonored, despite Dishonored seeming to win that team fight and take the second Drake.
Mid turret will be cracked here first as well for the side of Henhaven. So that is impactful, as I said in the last game, for picking up these objectives, going around, unlocking the map per se, because if there's a wave crashing into your opponent's tier 2, they have to of course go and catch that, or they're going to be losing out CS, their turret's going to be taking chip damage, and it takes longer to catch the wave and shove it out from the tier 2 than it does from that tier 1 turret. So it allows people to get out on the map, and it allows a lot more of this objective control through mid lane.
Yep. Really important to break open that mid lane turret, just to create even more pressure that Henhaven got with this Scion in the side lane as well. So, of course, we know Styler can't quite match up to the Scion at the moment with 400 stacks on that heart steal. As we did talk about last game as how kind of proficient it was, but Scion making the most of it here and really making it count. Azir going in straight onto the Anivia though. Trying to do as much damage as he can, but just not enough quite yet to really take down. And the Emperor's Divide, it was available. And this Rift Herald doing its work in the top lane. Getting that inner turret very, very low indeed. And I'm sure Sion's going to come back very soon to finish the job. But for now, the Anivia very low. Does have the passive, I think. So it should be fine for now. But Jarvan coming in to 3 members. Gets Cataclysm onto the ADC. Had he got the team to follow up though? No, he's under the turret. The Shen is activated the Stand United, but he is stuck as well. And again, Dishonored. They try and go in with the gauge, and they are the ones to pay the price. Jarvan has to jump out with his flag and drag. The TP is coming in from the Azir, but I think it's just too little too late there. And now they're going to have to answer in that top lane where the Shen is left with that constant Sion pushing power.
That was unlucky coming out from that Shen there in that team fight. Just mistimed the taunt on the Poppy W, which is of course then grounding him. And once you're grounded, it's you're just gonna get free hit by the Xayah in that team fight, and she's just going to pick you up. So yeah, that's I wouldn't say probably well played from Poppy. I would say that was a bit of a mechanical mistake coming out from the Shen. But they got the kill nonetheless, and they are further extending this lead, capitalizing on a bit of a rush Stand United coming out from that Shen.
Yeah, it was really fine margins there, wasn't it? You know, a taunt would have changed the path, but now the Poppy's going to go under for the Azir. He's really low. He activates the Emperor's Divide, but it's just too late. And the kill, another kill, goes over to Henhaven, and now they're extending their lead to about 2,000 gold. And looking really strong in this game as the Jax Drake up in about a minute.
Yeah. He felt safe. He felt safe basing under his own Azir turret, but unfortunately with the tankiness that's coming out from this Poppy, you're never really safe when you can be dove on that turret. So yeah, just lockdown, killed, secured, wonderfully played.
Yeah, I mean, on half health as well, I don't even know why you're kind of hanging around there really to begin with. So, you know, just step back, recall, recover your health, and then go back again, rather than take that risk, which has opened the map quite a lot now, as this Sion is going to be trying taken down. Shen can at least probably hold his ground a lot better, but he's got no match for the Sion, and
It's a proc.
the proc on. Oh my goodness me. It's alright doing half turret damage as a Sion, so who needs his eggs? But one more hit should do it, and now the Shen is just going to have to watch his turret go down and watch his own life go down as well, as the engage down by the Dragon Pit. The Rakan's managed to get onto the back line. The Cataclysm has gone to the bot line of Henhaven, but she's going to be able to run away and flash away, and it's all crossing across the map. Henhaven getting very, very low, and the shutdown does come through for Shenzin. And despite the engage not pulling off, in the end, 3 members of Henhaven do walk away. But crucially, the ADC for them does go down, and that means the Dishonored are able to get this 3rd Drake of the game.
Yeah, this Soul Point coming out. Sometimes the Chem Drake isn't the most impactful, but it's always nice to have. The Soul coming out there will be a big spike, and it will help them transition this game, which is looking to be quite brawly, quite team fighty, quite will be accepted from the 2 top team in this division. It's living up to what I wanted it to be. So
team's turret has been
Yeah, it looked like it was maybe going hugely in favour of Dishonored, but Henhaven, they've held in there. They've done really well to just stick it out and play to their strengths. And yeah, ultimately, I think it's the top laner that's really kept them in, as he's going to try and target the Kai'Sa, but unfortunately just walks straight into the wall instead. And that will be the end of that.
Come out from the Kai'Sa, hitting a 2-item spike. But Anivia is now pretty much full build with the 10-stack Rower and the Seraph's Embrace fully stacked.
Yeah.
So it looks like both AD carries are leaning towards the Navori Quick Blades over the Infinity Edge. Sometimes a bit of a debate in that situation. But this Kai'Sa is just so monstrously ahead now. With those 3 kills coming in, bounties being claimed, and he just got one shot.
Oh my goodness me, that was just the Heartsteel stack there. Not even worried about the turret aggro, just gonna take a few hits and do half turret damage, as you do. Just Scion things. What can you do? Laslam literally recalling, just not sure what he can do really. Worried if he gets knocked up, that's going to be the end of his life. And he's going to need some help, but the Poppy, unfortunately, that's not the help he wanted. Empress Divide misses somehow.
That buffered in a really strange way.
Yeah,
Karma
not quite sure. And Karma's going to pick off the kill there in the end, because 3 members of Dishonored at least are taking the Baron, so it is a trade. Turret and death for the Baron. Let's see if that does pull off, and that does come in favour of Dishonored, because the turrets are going down one by one. It's going to be an inhibitor turret to follow as well. Just last little bullet there comes through from the Xayah.
Despite this Baron being picked up, the map on the side of Dishonored has been destroyed. It's been they don't have a lot to hold on to in terms of those turrets. And, when this Baron runs out, they'll have to be constantly scared of these waves pushing in, and they'll have to constantly catching them. But last time I said they'd have to respond to waves, they just forced the team fight anyway and won. So
yeah,
I mean, obviously this Shen with his stand united means he can sit in a side lane incredibly comfortably and join the fight from anywhere. Which is somewhat the same with the Scion, but Scion with his Unstoppable Onslaught has to be in a range and he has to drive it around. But they both have similar impacts in their ultimate abilities to join that team fight and cause disruption.
Yeah, of course the Shen has got the ability to help his team from further afield with that ultimate, and I feel like Dishonored should be utilising that more, maybe. You know, I clearly can't face the Scion 1v1 in a lane, so, you know, play to your champion's strength. The fact that you've got a TP and a stand united against your top lane opponent, and have that man advantage in the team fights. But for now, Poppy, she's going to go for the engage, but she's going to be met with 3 members of Dishonored. She's going to have to walk out there best she can. She's got a lot of armor though. She's going to survive for now. She's got the rest of her team following up, and the Jarvan is stuck. He gets over the wall at least to safety, and Stand United is going to be popped on the Azir. He should be alright for now, and gets a 3-man taunt in, but the Scions come back on the back line. He's got him on the Azir, takes him down, and he's going to come in and finish the job as well. He is going to be the last man surviving though, because the Kai'Sa is getting the kills and she is doing the damage, and now it is the big bad raid boss here. He may be tanky, but he is not going to be able to match the 4 members of Dishonored. The Zombie Scion almost does try and get a kill out of there, but to no avail, and Dishonored though gonna have to defend their own base. So
yeah, these super minion waves pushing in are they're still gonna have to be responded to. No matter how much they get ahead, there's still that opportunity there. The Scion is still gonna one-shot these turrets. They need to be scared.
Yeah,
indeed. Lord Dominic's regards coming out for that Kai'Sa, which will help her chop through this Scion just a tad bit easier, but it's still not be easy.
Yeah, it's almost like facing the mythological Hydra, you know? Cut 1 head off and 2 grow back, kill 1 Scion, and he's going to come back with double the health, probably. So, yeah, interesting one, but both teams, TP coming out here, see if they're going to go for the engage again, but nothing as yet. The Scion is here with over 5,000 health, and the Drake is going to get melted. without even any response. Jarvan comes over. Is he going to be able to steal? No, he smites way too early. And in the end, it's neither jungler that gets it. It's the Sion that takes him down, and he is going to die where he stands. The Empress Divide does knock 2 members of Henhaven over the wall, but it's a tanky Sion you've got in your face. And that was not the member. And in the end, Henhaven, after they lost that earlier team fight, are back in control with the 2 dragons as well.
Yeah, that was a do or die for Henhaven if that soul comes in and they win that team fight.
Yeah.
But the Azir coming in with this Shreema Shuffle picks up the 2 tankiest members, and they don't have the damage to cut through both that Poppy and that Sion, which means the Xayah and the Karma can free hit from over the wall, and they will be able to pick up a kill onto the Azir and onto the Jarvan, which committed to try and get that dragon.
The flash wall classic combo from the Anivia, clearly. Not quite pulling off there, but do get the inhibitor for now, and they'll turn their attention to the top lane inhibitor as well. Like you said, put that lane pressure in, and that has ultimately been what has kept them in the balance here.
Yeah, without this Sion being able to chop down these turrets so quickly, and with the great wave clear that comes out from this character, this game would have been in a lot more peril, I believe, but with someone always having to respond to these waves.
Yeah. And the Shirelli is activated from the Karma. They're still going. They do get the Xayah inside the Cataclysm, but I don't think he's going to be able to get away for now. Rakan is in the backline. The Shen's in the backline as well, but you've got a Sion trying to take down, but he's just not tanky enough. The Kai'Sa doing so much work. It'd be really interesting to see what that Kraken player is doing, because indeed the Kraken is down, and Dishonored are the ones pushing in the top lane now with no tanky Sion, no turret threat. They can probably breathe a sigh of relief while their base is being taken, though.
Ice will respond to that. And outside of this Thornmail, there's not been one piece of armor built on this Sion, which means that the Kai'Sa is would be pretty much dealing 3 damage. Aside from the fact that Anathena's chains, which is now been started to stack on the Kai'Sa. It's clear that this Sion now has one goal in mind, and it's to lock that Kai'Sa down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like we were talking about it last game, weren't we? That actually I would notice the Poppy as well has stacked a lot of armor with healthless items, and you know, when she comes into frame, you'll see that actually she only has about 2,500 health, and she flashes in and steals the Baron, and a flash straight away, just so casual it seemed, and all of a sudden, Shenzhen is godlike though. Don't know how long the Baron buff is going to be able to last, but like you said, the Nexus turrets are exposed, and it's going to delay things, certainly, that's for sure.
I mean, Psalm with Baron, you always have to be scared. The gold lead also still coming out for Henhaven here. I'm sure that will swing back into the favour of Dishonored soon with these waves being picked up in the top lane.
I mean, it's remarkable. The Kai'Sa, not a single death this game. Even her support, only 1 death.
Yeah.
And somehow, you know, maybe you think actually from that, you know, if you told someone that they would have won this game already, 32 minutes in, and they're actually struggling to find a way to break that base open.
Yeah. There's Xayah is only half an item behind. She is also not to be struck at, even though she's 2 levels down. There's still going to be damage dealt coming out from her. She's very, very safe, very almost tanky with this Bloodthirst and the Bloodthirster changes that came out with patch 13.1b. This Sion is just tanking up.
Yeah, I mean, like you said though, he himself probably has to be pretty wary now, because he knows that the Kai'Sa can melt him from 100 to 0 pretty quickly. And curiously as well, that the Unstoppable Onslaught, his ultimate, does do structure damage as well. So if there is a Nexus turret that's low, but in the end the Shen's going to go in with a flash taunt, catching the Karma out. She's getting very, very low for now, but still surviving. The Jarvan's going to turn his attention. The Keeper's Verdict knocks him out of the picture. Shendin does get 8 kill of the game though. She is being helped out. The Shen is trying to get into the game. Stand United will help her out, and the stopwatch as well is going to keep them alive. And Xayah is just too low, just not enough damage. Too much frontline. Sion though, getting damage, gets the shutdown onto the Kai'Sa. Crucially now, that's your damage gone. Poppy is very low, but she's alright for now. Jarvan is coming in the wings. Don't think he's going to be able to do enough damage, because now this Sion has got no threat at all. He is not going to be taken down by either of these champions. Azir is here pretty low as well. Can he help out? He's going to be the one to do the damage on the Scion. Gets the knock up, but no. The Scion is going to go down in the end. Meanwhile, the Drake is being taken, though, from Henhaven. Jarvan has spotted it as well. They're trying to jump over the wall, but they take the Dragon just before the Jarvan's able to get in. And in the end, after that, quite back and forth team fight. Crucially, the Kai'Sa, first death of the game, going over to the Scion. And maybe that could be the turning point.
Indeed, it was almost protect the president on that side, keep her alive, keep her doing damage, the keeper's verdict, the shields coming out.
Get down, Mr. President!
She lived on that one hit of HP. And,
man.
That allowed them to go over, secure the Drake. If Xayah went down, I would not like their chances during this game.
Yeah, because, I was just to say, because once the Kai'Sa's down, there really is no threat to that Scion, is there? I mean, Azir can do his damage, but I don't think he should just survive as long.
Yeah, and also, the force of nature is coming out on that Scion. I don't believe it was there for that last team fight, but now...
No, he did just buy it, yeah.
Yeah. Azir is going to be doing little to no damage. Jeez. Although there's items coming through for him, he doesn't really have this pure penetration coming through. Got the Shadow Flame. That's not the same penetration that you would get from something like a Void Staff, which is doing pen instead of penetration. In this game's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like additive and
yeah,
it's all worked out very differently. But yeah, we just know damage and item will do more damage as such.
But the way I've always remembered it is Shadow Flame if they don't have any magic resist, and you want your Void Staff if they do have magic resist. That will be one that they decide what item to buy there. So the Shadow Flame.
Yeah, it's interesting. He hasn't actually gone for the Warmog's armor, which you'd think would be. I mean, he's. It's not like he's got enough health already, you know. So I guess the Heartsteel kind of fills that gap because he's got going for the Thorn Mail for his last item as well. And Poppy gonna knock his ear under the turret, and he is by himself. Fortunately, though, the Emperor's Divide is gonna pull off this time. But again, bit of deja vu here, facing the third champion onto the Karma, takes him down before he can even get it. Sand United, huge shield as well, gonna be able to survive that. And now it's a 2 switcheroo. Poppy's able to take him down, but now we're going to switch to the mid lane. Kai'Sa getting very low, missing the unstoppable onslaught courtesy of that killer instinct. And Dishonored now are going to try and push in this mid lane. While one member, just the support down, and the mid lane are down. For Dishonored, Cataclysm jump into the turret on the inner lane, in the mid lane. Scion though, tanking so much, and he's going to try and do it much more. Poppy knocking the Kai'Sa out of the picture for now. She's still doing so much damage. The Shen takes the kill onto that Poppy. Rakan going to return and join his teammates. But in the end, both junglers go down for each team, and it's so close. I mean, it's not even, I mean, it's basically level on gold as well. 3 Drakes each. It couldn't be closer in this game.
Yeah, it just feels like with this Scion coming in and the Shen, no one is dying. The Shen makes everyone on the side of Dishonored so safe, and the Scion, he is very, very big. Should we check how much HP coming through? 8,000 HP coming through from that Scion.
Whoa. Yeah, okay, I take it back. He doesn't need a Warmog. Never mind. I mean, you know, it's kind of, at this point though, this is what is good about League, is that, you know, when you've got to a certain amount of health, that there are items that just make it negligible, really. You know, if you're 8,000 or 10,000, percentage health damage is going to actually be doing more to you. So, you know, I think he's all right on the health front. And yeah, just build that armor. Does have that Titanic Hydra as well, which will do damage according to his health. Which I dread to think. I mean, I can probably hover and see. Actually, not as much as I thought. Yeah, it's 130 291.
I believe Titanic Hydra's nerfed.
Yeah, did get nerfed pretty hard. Whoa, doing half health on that Azir, just with one swing of the axe on the Scion. And both teams going to walk away from that fight. The Shen is in the side. As the Drake is up in 10 seconds, this is a sole point for either team. And it really could decide the outcome with that Chemtech buff. Giving resistances, giving extra damage. Especially on a Scion as well. He's going to try and activate Q, but he misses as the Bruckham makes that engage onto the backline, but he's got no follow-up really. Cataclysm is in the far wing. Poppy knocks up the Kai'Sa to keep her busy, but it's going to get taken down very, very soon. And there is the first kill going in the fight. 1-for-1 at the moment. Desire responds, taking the top laner down for Dishonored. And now the Azir outtakes the Enterprise Divide, only getting one member. And Scion is very low. He's going to have to just watch his team go down. And Dishonored are the ones to win this team fight as they finally get rid of the egg. And this Kai'Sa has just been non-stop brutal in this game as they claim the soul.
Yeah,
and it's a big ask now.
Unleashed. I feel like with this Scion, he's very tanky, and you could see during that fight he was able to sustain in the middle of them for a very long time. But they just seem to be lacking some form of engage. Right, so unless this WE combo from the Poppy and the Anivia like actually manages to land, what engage do you really have? I was pausing to see if the Baron still was coming through from that side.
Yeah.
What engage do you really have on the side of on the side of Penhaven? They have a comp which would all love to follow up, and they would all love to follow up on this engage, but they don't have that primary target which wants to go, like you can see from the side of Dishonored here with that Javelin coming through.
Yeah, it's just been a bit kind of difficult to try and lock down one target and where to lock it down as well. You've seen the Scion with the Unstoppable Onslaught just not quite hitting the right target or just missing, because there's no one else just to hold them down really. You've got a Poppy maybe with that dash engage, but like you said, after that everyone just wants to wait and see what's going to happen, and I think that just caused a bit of issues for Penhaven here.
And I'd like to say, Platoonia Resident, we haven't really mentioned the Jarvan pick this much.
Yeah.
That much this game was a fight, it's starting quickly.
Oh, there you go. Unstoppable Onslaught was trying again to take out, but just could not quite find the right target. Everyone's just able to walk away. No movement debuffs at all there, just no slows, nothing to be able to prevent them from getting out of the way there. The turrets are now being taken in the side lanes. And suddenly...
Finally able to extend this gold lead, crack down these turrets.
Yeah.
With this Baron buff. That health bar is goofy looking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty can go down in a second though, courtesy of the Kai'Sa, so certainly beatable.
No, but as I was saying, this Platoonia Resident on this Jarvan, he's been impeccable. He's been going tunnel visioning on that Xayah, and he's been keeping the Xayah out of the fight and just making sure that we know you're the primary carry, you can't do damage this fight. And it's separating the Scion from the team and not really dying and sustaining with the lead he got in the early game.
Yeah, really good engages there, and nice to have a big bulky shield to accommodate you when you're in there, because Jarvans can be notorious for going a bit too deep and jumping in a bit too far. Of course, you can do the flag and drag with the ultimate, which does create a sizable gap between you and your teammates sometimes. So yeah, be really kind of disciplined as well with that engage and not strayed too far from the fight. As we're looking now to focus onto the inhibitor turret, Penhaven just probably going to have to let them take it at the moment, trying to clear the way best they can, but Azir just doing so much work, keeping them at bay.
Important to note though that the Xayah wave clear with the Navori quick blades is nothing to scoff at. She does cut through these minions, even with the Baron buff sometimes.
Yeah. The Baron buff I think has worn off now as well.
Yeah.
So that does cue Dishonored to walk away, sit back, and just reset. With Elder Dragon up in a couple of minutes is the next target probably.
Yeah. This is the fight. This game has been going on for 45 minutes.
My
and
goodness.
It's looking to end soon. I hope.
Yeah.
Not that it's not been full of fighting, full of action.
Yeah, only
Reset
46
CPU.
kills in 44 minutes, you know.
Mhm.
But still a fair time, you know, just under 2 minutes till the Elder Dragon, so a bit of kind of hanging around almost really for both teams. Just farm those camps, get those last few items. There's a lot of players hitting level 18, hitting those max items, hitting those full items. So I mean, yeah, I mean, you'd probably say still Dishonored with their Kai'Sa in his ear on those full item builds is probably looking the favoured team.
I would say coming into this fight, but was Sim Poppy still something before? Who's to say she can't do it again?
Yeah. Yeah, this is where the ability checks are crucial. The Keeper's Verdict, able to knock away just the right one, you know.
Yeah, they can get Kai'Sa obviously zero out of the fight.
Yeah.
Who's to say what can happen?
There's a magic
Dishonored
trick.
would, yeah.
Making those minions disappear.
Dishonored would love to get this inhibitor right now. That's what the Azir was leaning towards the mid lane to do. If they can get an inhibitor down, then this Drake becomes a lot harder to fight. But
oh, does get the knock into the Shen. Gonna have to flash away for now. And Dishonored just waiting in the wings, waiting for that ambush, but Henhaven not taking the bait. And it's really
flash up Shen
lining up as well. Yeah, no flash dash.
No flash down.
Yeah. Oh, they've got the route onto the Azir. He's stuck. The wall is there as well. He's gonna have to flash over though. He is low health. Cataclysm again coming out onto Nivea this time. And is he gonna be? He's got no support with him though. Gets a 3-man taunt with the Stand United. And there's just so much damage coming out. Sion though trying to focus onto the Azir, but he's taken down. He's just got no support. He's got no Shen to help him out. And now the Karma is able to get a kill onto the Shen at least, but the Jarvan is still alive, still tanky, still live and well healthy. And that means that it looks like Dishonored here will clean up and take the last members of Henhaven down with the triple kill, just to top it off, and a 5th quadra kill to make it 15-1 on this Kai'Sa. And I don't think there's going to be any argument about who's MVP this game, because Dishonored have come through and pulled it back just when we thought it was on a knife edge. The knife surely is leaning one way, and Dishonored have absolutely smashed it in this game. Take the 2nd loss for Henhaven.
Yeah, it's a tough week for them, going 0-2, and they're at the top of the table, but they're against obviously the other first seed coming into this game, and they're against a team in a team that put on a very strong performance. Even though they looked like the underdogs, it was very strong coming up from both LTA and Dishonored today. Unfortunate for Henhaven. It just seemed like they were just missing the mark, as 73,000 damage coming out from that Azir, and the Kai'Sa, who was able to get in the kills, get in the damage, not dying, which was obviously vitally important for your AD carry.
Yeah, my goodness me. Just some really interesting points there to note. You know, we had the Sion dominance to begin with, and then, you know, kind of faded away once the Kai'Sa had the damage to deal with that. And yeah, like you said, the Azir, you know, didn't quite match the KDA maybe of the Kai'Sa, but certainly pulled his weight and really dished out the damage where it was needed. I mean, the Sion 40,000 damage, matching the damage of his ADC as well, is pretty incredible there. So yeah, just really interesting how it was actually seemed so even despite one player having over 15 kills, or having 15 kills with just the one death.
The lead coming out from that Sion certainly made it so that he could sustain through these team fights and make it so that you could nullify source of the damage coming through from the Nzir and the Kai'Sa, which allowed the game to go so long and allowed them for a fighting chance. But in the end, it just wasn't enough to survive the scaling that comes through from this Azir and the Kai'Sa here.
Yeah, just quite amazed really how it kind of happened, because it's almost like you didn't expect it to have that such large a lead. You know, the team fights felt pretty even. It felt like both teams were pretty similar in those. So yeah, just interesting, kind of from a neutral point of view, just to see how that game panned out. And the Scion just couldn't quite got down to the Nexus turrets,
Yeah.
and for so long, I think that must have been at like 25, 30 minutes maybe. So for
Yeah.
a good 10 minutes, Nexus turrets exposed and never able to capitalize on.
Sion tried his best to sustain the game, but unfortunately in the team fight they couldn't quite find that victory.
Indeed. I'm just going to see if I can set up a quick interview as well with one of the winning members of Dishonored. So just sticking around here. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately for Haven as well, that was the second loss for them tonight as well, and just couldn't quite pull it through. You did see improvement, I think, in that second game, though.
Yeah, certainly. I think there's still quite a bit to work on in their drafting compositionally. I believe they had a bit of a struggle trying to find their identity. But there was definitely improvement coming into that second game. They were able to find the early game leads.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely more positives coming out from Haven, but not enough to take the victory over Dishonored, who are looking very strong as our first seed.
Yeah, I mean, really just a real well-oiled machine, wasn't it? And coordinating those engages, and yeah, it just seemed a bit kind of more fractured, I think, with Haven, wasn't it? That trying to engage, and the Scion kind of just went almost off stage, as it were, if it was a kind of a performance to try and deal with the Kaiser, and then just got caught against two heavy damage dealers, and unfortunately would go down. Meanwhile, the Jarvan Shen combo was coming up trumps really, and just when the Jarvan thought he was going to struggle, that his pal in the top lane was able to help him out there. So yeah, really well played from Dishonored.
Certainly.
Yeah, so there we go. Just trying to, again, I'm getting there with trying to track down the support for Dishonored. Oh, he's in the interview waiting room apparently. There we go. And I'm hoping I can move to. Yes, I can. Okay, we're going to move him in. Move him in here. There we go. Hello, hello.
Hi there.
How's it going? Well done. Congratulations on your win there in the second game. How do you feel that went?
Thank you. And I think that we managed to fight very well this game. I mean, team fight overall, we played it pretty good, I would say. But we kind of struggled against the Cyan early to mid game on the side lanes. So yeah, macro overall during that phase of the game wasn't really the best, but yeah, I'm happy overall.
Yeah. Zyduck, you want to ask something?
Yeah, just individually, it felt like he performed quite well on Rakan today. As early as like levels 2, 3, when you were flashing on that Poppy around that Drake fight, you are very proactive. So I just want to see how you feel like you performed individually.
I felt like I could have played better some team fights. Probably the Poppy was a bit of a deal for me because I couldn't really dash with all the liberty that normally I have on Rakan. But overall, I felt that vision was a good point this game. I had a really good management,
Mhm.
I would say. I mean,
Yeah, I feel like there's almost a constant wave of blue wards, especially towards those drakes and in that bot side.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost just getting CS from those wards, really. Some really good vision there. So yeah, that makes you 4 wins out of 4 as well. Storming ahead. And who would you say? I mean, obviously your ADC was impeccable with the scoreline. But do you think you're going to tweak that strategy there? Is there ways that you found to kind of work on in that as well, despite the kind of landslide victory, I suppose, in some ways?
I mean, I would say that in this game, yeah, my AD Shenzhen played really well in team fights, especially. The positioning was good, but I think that the calls were really good in game, and our shot caller Goob was really smurfing it on calls. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining for the interview as well, and
No problem.
well done on the game. And yeah, good luck with the weeks to come.
Thank you.
Cool.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Yeah. Interesting there. Obviously, very modest supporters. Most supports
Yeah.
probably are.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Probably would have got some different responses from maybe the mid or
Bro,
ADC. Who knows?
from the Eddie, I'm the best.
Yeah.
It was all me.
Yeah, I know indeed. Yeah, that everyone fits their role very well. But that will do it for us for this week of Valance League. Thank you very much to Zyduck, first casting for Valance League and keeping my knowledge gaps not too obvious. So
Yeah.
appreciate that. And we will see you all guys on Monday again, 7 o'clock UK time for the next two games. So thanks for joining and see you there.
Bye bye.